Today Jeremy and I are going to do an inspection on this 80 series. So he's come in with a couple of knocks in his front end, and he also just wants us to do a full check over because we know what we're looking for. So we'll show you what we find on this old girl. So I'm just going to move the seat all the way forward because I'm a short ass.
A lot of people look at the belt tensions, but they forget what the belts are running on. So we've got this pulley here. It's not noisy or anything, but it's got a lot of free play in it, like that. So which means it's getting fairly worn. If I was going remote, like this gentleman here, I would replace it. Easy as. So we're going to put that on the list. Tensioner pulley, righto.
Brake fluid is 2% moisture, so it'll be right.
Yep.
Oh, this Panhard's flogged.
Yeah, that was knackered.
Wow. All right, we'll do that. Oh, wheel bearings are bad. There's some movement. Where's that coming from? Wandering.
Oh, it's in the Panhard. It's in the Panhard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh, that's worse. Look at that.
All right, look at the movement.
What's that squeak?
It's his rear shock. That's not too bad. Cracks around here. No, that's good.
That's a common one, is it?
Yeah. Probably do with a top up of oil. Fine. That's fine. Radius arm bushes, we're not going to do them here. They're not terminal, but they're just really fatigued.
7-8mm brakes. Front diff oil. Oh, that's low. Got nothing on my finger.
And he's got a leaking swivel hub, which is a good indicator that his inner axle seal is probably worn.
So we'll give him a home list and what we can do for him.
Yeah. Beautiful, that's got oil in it, that looks fresh.
Alright, so we've got some 80/90 here. And this little turkey baster is one of the best automotive tools. You pick them up from eBay. And you know, you can fill things up, suck things out. Because he wants to get the car sorted, obviously, but we're not a fully stocked workshop. Because we're both qualified, we give a lot of things a good go. But
yeah. Checking the gearbox oil as well. That's good.
It's lucky he actually came in here because he is running very low on front diff oil. I think other mechanics from the city don't understand the conditions of remote Australia. You know, they understand the desert in the sense of they watch a YouTube video, but they don't see the roads to get to the desert. And that's why we're good mechanics in that sense.
Common thing we see in the Outback is exhaust mounts breaking.
I could do with a top up. Alrighty, so this 80 series is done for the inspection. So we found that the tensioner pulley had play in it. We have to retension both front wheel bearings. The Panhard rod bushes are flogged. The rear top shock bushes are knackered. We have to top up his oil with about 1 litre, and his front and rear diff oil needed topping up as well. So all of that we can do here in the workshop. So I've just gone in the pub and spoken to the gentleman, and he's happy for us to do the work. So we'll crack into the wheel bearings because we don't need any parts for that. And we'll just have to wait till tomorrow to do the rest of the work.
Yeah, there we go.
Right, little circles in there, take that off. Take off these little 12mm bolts. That one's missing a washer.
Classic.
Found the other washer, they put it on this one.
Oh, double washer trig.
Who's this mechanic? Jeez, give it up, mate.
They're on.
This would have been a Friday job, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon.
Never take your car to a mechanic on a Friday, ever. Always a Friday stitch up. Always want to get the out of there.
There we go.
Alright.
There we go.
10 years later.
You know, this is why we don't let customers watch working on cars, because anyone would think that is rough, but that is literally the way you do it. That is an approved technique.
If you watch, I'm not even joking, 2 fitties in the pocket, mate.
2 fitties, $100. 2 pineapples.
Or a greenie, that's fine. Greenie in the pocket.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, have this special little tool here. There's a locking nut there. Little locking pin. And now I'll adjust the wheel bearing nut. Yeah, look at that. Alright, so now I'll put the locking pin back on.
Okay.
Alright, well thanks for that check.
That's alright, no problem.
Keep us busy.
Mind you, you make a man coffee too.
Oh, thank you.
Meal last night.
Oh, awesome.
It's a good place here.
Gaskets on. And now put this back on. Perfect. Put the retaining cones in. I'm sure there's a fancy name for it. One of these per stud. Past mechanic put 2 on 1. Funny that. Dunskies.
Coffee time.
Coffee time.
Smoko.
No play at all.
Up the top here, the upper mount is actually bolted with 2 14s, and the lower one down here, the lower ones have been pretty chewed out from all the Outback roads, so I'm going to file that down so I can get my 17 on there. There we go, look at that. This one feels a bit rusty. A little bit of this stuff on the threads. It's a little bit worn. I'm going to clean up some of these rusty bolts that came up from the top mount. This washer here normally has a little lip on it that goes exactly in that hole to stop it from moving around, but because it's worn away, because they're probably so old, it's just being rubbed on the shaft. So that's what it should look like. It goes perfectly in that hole, and that stops it from moving around. New bushes coming for that one. Alright, so back on the big 80 series. Kel got in last night at about 6:30 with some parts. Got some Panhard bushes that we've got to press in. Some top shock bolt bushes, which I'm going to do that first. And we've got an idler pulley as well. All these little things so we can cross the Madigan. Well, I'm taking the Panhard off.
So I've got 2 12 mils. Taking off the tensioner pulleys, got some play. We've got a genuine one.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, the dust is pouring. So it's not a 13 and it's not a 14. So what the f is it?
Oh, it's one of those old money spinners.
For some reason it's a 916 Imperial.
If you were going remote by yourself, Isabel, would you take that as a spare part of idle pulley?
I would, yeah.
I would.
I would bring all idler pulleys. If you don't have it, you're buggered. You can't go anywhere. That's the old pulley. Yeah, there's definitely movement in there. Oh, assembly, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
It's old genuine, this one.
Why don't we just take the radiator out?
What? There we go. Look at that. Most piece of piss job ever. This is hard when I'm short as
Feel it's great. I don't have to press these in and out. Well, I don't have to press them out. Look at that, deteriorated. All fresh rubber bushes and all clean bolts. Beautiful. Panhard bushes, idler pulley, and some rear shock bushes. Big 80 series is good to go. The boys will be going over the Madigan line, and I reckon they're going to make it easy as. Right, fellas, have a safe trip. Have fun.
Alright, let's get specific and talk about what sort of spares you should consider if you have an 80 series. So we have an assortment of parts here on the table, and I'll run through them one by one. So I'll start off here with some sort of manual with your car, if it's available for you. It's a really good reference. It shows you how to install, remove a lot of the components in your car. You've got a universal joint kit, so that's in your tail shaft. All 4-wheel drives have it, but a universal joint kit is a really good idea. A grease gun and some grease. We've also got some diff oils here, so 75/90 and some 80/90, and some brake fluid, as well as some engine oil. So figure out how much oil your engine takes and take that amount. So we've got here some fencing wire. This fencing wire is really tough, and you can use it to, you know, tie anything, your exhaust. A pack of fuses. Check what fuses are good for your car, whether it's a short or a long MIDI, maybe some relays, main fuse as well, that's a good one. We have here a fuel filter. There's no air filter on the table because you should just do that when you're at home. Wouldn't bother bringing it, it's too big. Full set of drive belts, as well as an idler pulley and an alternator. If you're traveling in the mud, these are the first things that kind of bugger up. Most modern vehicles, all modern vehicles, won't run or charge the battery if the alternator's buggered. if you've got a secondary battery, that will also die as well. So it's really good to have an alternator on board. Moving on to here, we have wheel bearing kits and the grease, and the socket to take the wheel hub nut off. So that's a good one to have. This is a 54mm, so that's suitable for the 80 series. And lastly, we have a tyre repair kit. So it's one thing to carry the spares, but it's also a good idea to carry some tools with you, so you can fix it yourself, become familiar with how to replace your drive belt, how to adjust your wheel bearings, replace your wheel bearings, and that sort of thing. But if you're not mechanically minded, you can, you know, always just wait on the side of the road for a traveller to pass and hope that they're mechanically minded. At least you've got the spares and the tools, and they'll be more than willing to help you out, I'm sure. You know, this is just some spares you can consider to bring for your 80 series or for your car when you're heading remote. But keep an eye on our channel, because we will be doing a full in-depth video of every single spare part we bring for our highlights. If you do get your car checked when you come remote, I'd recommend getting it checked about 2 months before your trip, because that gives you time to save up for the parts that you need and make sure your car's all good for the trip. There's no point getting it checked 1 week before, because it gives you no time to get the parts, save up, book it in, get it sorted, and then you're running on a hope that everything will be alright. You know, out here in these Outback roads, it is rough, very rough. And if there's something wrong, just get it sorted. Don't wait for it to break. Just get it sorted before you come out here, because you'll save yourself heartache and you'll have a much better trip.